Karina baby, for September 15th, we have 1 times 2 equals 3. 2 times 2 equals 6. 3 times 2 equals 4. All wrong. See me after class. So 1 times 2 equals 2. 2 times 2 equals 4. 3 times 2 equals 8. So I don't know why they got them all wrong, but they're going to see them after class and try and go over it. The Toad Princess. Once upon a time, there was a king and queen who had a son called Wilford the Wonderful. To be honest, Prince Wilford wasn't all that wonderful. He had knobbly knees, his ears stuck out, and he was terrible at math. One day the king said, "It's time for you to get married, Wilford. The world is full of beautiful princesses. You're sure to find a wife." So Prince Wilford got on his bicycle and went all over the place searching for a bride. He met lots of princesses who were all very beautiful, but they didn't seem to like him. "You've got knobby knees," said one. "Your ears stick out," said another. "And you're terrible at math," said the third. Prince Wilford pedaled back sadly. He had just opened the palace door when a toad hopped on his foot. It was fat with blobbly brown warts. "Yuck," cried the prince. The toad leaped on his shoulder and whispered in his ear, "Remember, remember, I'm Princess September. One kiss and you'll see the real lovely me." "Kiss you?" shrieked the Prince Wilford. "Not likely." "There's no need to be rude," said the toad, who really was a princess. "A wicked witch cast a spell on me just because I tripped over her broomstick. Now I have to find a prince to kiss me and break the spell." "Well, don't look at me," said Prince Wilford. I am looking at you," said the Toad Princess, smiling as sweetly as she could. "For the toad, that is. I hear you wouldn't had much luck to find a wife with your knobby knees and sticking out ears, and I could help you with your math." "Really?" said Prince Wilford, suddenly looking at the Toad Princess with interest. "Are you good at math?" "I can add, subtract, and multiply," she said. That did it. Prince Wilford thought she was the cleverest thing in the world. So she had shut her eyes so tightly and stood the most beautiful princess he had ever seen. Prince Wilford fell in love with her at once, and they were married the next day. The princess kept her promise and helped Prince Wilford with his math. She even taught him to say his times tables backwards. Oh my. And there they are. Many years ago, the village blacksmith was one of the most important people in town. At his forge, the blacksmith produced all kinds of ironwork needed for his townsmen, including horseshoes, hinges, wheel rims, and farm implants. This poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow was first published in 1840, but the sturdy, hard-working smith is still a model for us today. The Village Blacksmith. Under a spade chestnut tree with village smithy stands. The smith is mighty, is he, with large and sinewy hands. And the muscles on his brawny arms are strong and iron hands. His hair is crisp and black and long. His face is like a tan. His brow is wet and honest sweat. He earns whatever he can. He looks the whole world in the face, for he owns not any man. Week 1, week out, from morn till noon, you can hear his billows blow. You can hear his swing his heavy sledge with measured beat and slow. like a sexton ringing the village bells with the evening sun so low. And the children coming home from school look in at the open door. They love to see the flaming forge and hear the billows roar and catch the burning sparks that fly like chef from a thrusting floor. He goes on Sunday to the church, he sits among his boys. He hears the person pray and preach, and hears his daughter's voice, singing in the village choir, and it makes his heart rejoice. It sounds to him like his mother's voice, singing in paradise. He needs must think of his own once more. He in the grave she lies, and with his hard, rough hands he weeps a tear out of his eyes. Toiling, rejoicing, sorrowing, onward through life he goes. Each morning sees some task begun, each evening sees it close. Something attempting, something done, his earned a night's repentance. Thanks to thee, my worthy friend, for the lesson thou hast taught. Thus the flaming forge of life, our furnace must be wrought. Thus the sounding of veil sharpened, each burning deed and thought. There he is. Great music. Let's do We Sit and Watch the Rain as it falls from the sky, and we are glad to be inside where it is warm and dry. Oh yes, I do love the rain. It keeps the earth so clean and helps the pretty flowers grow from the mountains to the streams. I'm going to have to find our next book because this one is read through. We read every single story in this storybook. I love you so incredibly much, and I miss you so incredibly much. I hope that you're having a great day today. I hope that you're content and happy with everything that you're doing. I love you, and I miss you. Can't wait to see you, honey.